that Ashley Hinson is your opponent, does that change your message?
I don't think it changes at least my message and the things that I'm certainly fighting for, which is middle class and working families and small businesses and driving down costs, livable wage, affordable health care, affordable pharmaceuticals. I mean, honestly, not that much of a surprise that Senator Ernst didn't have the courage to step up. She didn't have the courage to stand up for the 1 in 5 Iowans that are on Medicaid, and so I'm not surprised she didn't have the courage to face the Iowa voters. And ultimately, Hinson is more the same. We saw that in her announcement video. She came out and said, I want to be Donald Trump's best ally in Iowa. Well, I want to be the middle class best ally, and I want to fight for Iowa and Iowans, not for Donald Trump. So, yeah, not surprised that same votes, same ideology, same philosophy, new face.
Josh, as you've campaigned across Iowa, you talked a lot about income inequality. What have you seen? What have you seen that's concerning about income inequality in the different parts of the state you visited as a U.S. Senate candidate?
It's massive. Income inequality is one of the biggest issues that we're dealing with. We literally have 2 Iowas now, or 2 Americas. I mean, we're living through a second Gilded Age at this point. In a community like mine, I see it every single day firsthand. We've got 65% of my community of Council Bluffs that's living at or below the poverty line. A lot of people are legitimately struggling to keep a roof above their heads, struggling to keep food on the table. These are the issues that people care about, is like, how am I going to afford to keep a roof above my head? How am I going to afford to own a home one day or send my kids to college, have the American dream? It's a serious problem, and I think that if we don't address it here soon, we're going to lose the American dream. We have to. We're literally living through a second Gilded Age.
We're less than a month from a possible government shutdown, and there's been talk of a deal maybe where Democrats would vote for the funding bill if Republicans agree to extend those Obamacare health insurance premium subsidies. Do you think Democrats should take that deal?
Here's what I think. I believe in government working for people, and so I'm not a particularly big fan of shutdown politics, just because of it's going to be the most vulnerable in the society that are ultimately going to be the ones that are going to be affected. However, I absolutely do believe that we need to fight for the Medicaid cuts and for the Obamacare. I mean, healthcare is maybe the single most important issue to me. And so that may be something worth fighting for. But to be perfectly honest with you, my philosophy is we need government that works for people and works for all people, not just the rich, not just the powerful, and not just billionaires.
Josh, a few weeks ago you spoke in Clear Lake at the Cirque Ballroom at the Wingding. That's just a few hours from the Twin Cities, where Speaker of the Minnesota House, Melissa Hortman, was murdered in her home this past week. Influencer and movement leader Charlie Kirk was gunned down in Utah. There's been a difference in the reaction. Kirk's been martyrized, received a lot of attention, whereas Melissa Hortman in some ways has been sort of largely forgotten. When people make the Minnesota reference, they have trouble reaching for her name. Why do you think there's a difference in the response, and do you think that's fair?
Well, inevitably, a national influencer is going to have more name recognition than, sadly, than a state senator. But I mean, this is something that has personally touched me. It wasn't only just Senator Hortman; it was also Senator Hoffman up there in Minnesota. His daughter has spina bifida like myself. He's somebody that I knew well and would see out there at disability events and advocacy events. Political violence doesn't have a side, and it touches all of us. And for somebody that is now very out there very openly in the public eye, I mean, it is a concern. And to me, what this states is that we have a mental health crisis, and we have a mental health crisis, particularly here in Iowa. And yeah, political violence knows no side. It's heinous, it's horrible, and this seems like what Ezra Klein said. This seems to generate more violence and more violence, and I don't want to see us return to a 1960s style where we're having some of our greatest leaders on both sides. Whether we agree or disagree with somebody or what they say, they do not deserve to forfeit their life on this. So we need to do everything we can to prevent future violence, because it's a serious problem, something that's touching all of our lives.
What specifically do political leaders, what responsibility do they have, and what actions can we take?
I think we need, first we need to address our mental health issue. And in a state like Iowa, where we're nearly dead last in terms of our mental health providers, this is certainly a place where we can start. And that means more funding from the federal level, certainly at the state level, Medicaid levels, reimbursement levels to be higher. I mean, we've got rural healthcare deserts, and it's maybe the most extreme in the mental health arena. And that's not only in Iowa, that is nationwide. And then additionally, I think we need common sense gun laws. And but this is a dual crisis. And we can certainly address those at both levels. I would like to see us to return to a 1990s assault weapons ban, for example. There's a lot we can do.
Senator Dan Holland is obviously got into the political spotlight in relation to the deportation cases in Maryland. What's your approach, and what do you think Iowans want to hear on immigration?
I think we can recognize that our current immigration system is broken, and that we need a far easier pathway to citizenship. I know this firsthand. I'm married to an immigrant. My wife was born in the Dominican Republic. I met in Spain, Spanish by passport. We were actually, without even getting an interview in Trump's first administration, we were sent deportation papers. And we spent thousands and thousands of dollars to litigate the process. And it was really stressful. It's really complicated. It's far too complicated. And so we need an easier pathway to citizenship for those that are coming here and want to make a better life for themselves and want to work hard and improve the country. I mean, ultimately, our national model is e pluribus unum, out of many come one. And so that's what I think. I think we can recognize it's a broken system, and we need to do far more to make an easier pathway to citizenship. As someone that knows that firsthand. Anybody else? Okay, thanks guys.